It was Johnny that I met when he was 15, and Johnny introduced me. He said, "Hey, I know this dude, man, that plays drums at school, and he's really cool, and he's a really good drummer." I was like, "Yeah." "So how old is he?" "Oh, he's 14. I'm like, "Okay, let's do this thing." So he introduced me to Rocky, and I played a little guitar. Of course, Johnny can play kazooka. He can play anything you throw at him, and Rocky was that way too. But anyway, we had big dreams. We were going to open for the Stones. Of course, the Stones never called us, but anyway, Rocky. The thing I remember about him was his contagious smile, his laugh, and his sense of humor at any situation. And I can honestly tell you, between Johnny and Rocky, you never knew what was coming at you, and there was a lot of times I had to duck just to stay sane. But I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. I'm just telling you that I'm really going to miss Rocky's smile and sense of humor. And God, we love you, Rocky. We love you. We love you, bro.
Well, I don't know.
Get up there, Johnny.
I guess that was a lead in for me, right? I don't know. I can't sum up in a sentence or two, but you know, there's just too much. There's too much that could be said, that should be said. You know, Rocky knows. He knows the depth of what he meant to me, our relationship. And he knows what a shitty public speaker I am too. So deal with it, dude. You're not here. So, but I believe he's listening, and I just want you guys to know that we lost a gem. I'm not telling Natalie anything she doesn't already know. So we did. We lost a gem, and we'll survive on the memories, won't we? That's what'll carry us through. And we love you, Rocky. We're going to meet again. I know we will. Absolutely.
Cheers.
Oh, Jeff, that's waiting for you.
Come on, Jeff. Here's the Chris.
I'm just going to say this. It's like, I'll be honest, I'm too emotional to speak about it. You know, I love that motherfucker like nobody else for 35 fucking years. Y'all can kiss my ass, anything, but I love him. And he was like the best, so I can't say anything else.
We love you, Jeff.
Yeah. Come on, Philip.
Somebody once
Take
asked
that
me,
damn mask off.
how did I know Rocky? And I used to tell people, I said, Rocky and I had our own special relationship. But I want to mention 3 people. Ronnie Bergen, Matt Sluter, and Rocky Lindsay. First time I met Rocky was at the first Asheville Christmas Jam. He was introduced to me by Matt Sluter. And from that day, he's been just a wonderful friend of mine. And I'll miss him. I'll miss his smile, miss his humor. Natalie, I love you both. Rocky, may you rest in heaven, along with all the other great musicians.
Thank you, Philip.
I'm going to say something if none of his old friends are going to.
There you go. Gerard! Come on, Gerard! Come on, Chuck! Come on, Chuck! Do the story! Chuck, do the story. Do the story, Chuck!
I've known Rocky since our 7th grade summer. And I wasn't a musician, so we didn't have music to unite us. We were just friends because we had a lot of common interests and we loved each other. And that friendship stayed strong for a long, long time. But one story I can think of about Rocky, everybody knows about his hot chick. A lot of people don't know that he got inspired by Prince's in Nashville. But he and I used to hang out when he was in town from traveling, and we'd stay up all night listening to music, playing golf on the video games. So one particular night, he goes in the kitchen, he's going to make us a snack. My eyes start itching. I hear him coughing and giggling. A few minutes later, I can't breathe, and he goes running out the front door to the yard. Turns out he had snuck in some really hot pepper sauce and poured it in what he was cooking in an electric skillet, thinking he was going to surprise me with something really hot and create a pepper spray bomb. So needless to say, his little practical joke backfired. But anybody that knew Rocky knew he loved the practical joke. But it's someone that I'll definitely miss. And Natalie, if I can do anything for you, please don't hesitate to call. And I'm glad that a lot of people loved Rocky and showed up tonight.
Woo! There's Jura. Where's Jura go?
I was one of the things friends have known a real long time. Go ahead. I'm just saying.
Get up there. Get up there, Jura.
I still will. I just want to get an opportunity.
Do it.
Yeah, I've known Rocky only about 8 years and some change maybe. So not as long as a lot of his buddies up here, but I've seen him very often. So I worked with him at Steven, myself worked with him at the Guitar Trader for a little while, about 4 years or so, and then I've been with he and Natalie since then. So it's real weird not having him around, to say the least, as we all are experiencing in our own ways. And I don't know what I'm saying, I'm just rambling, so it's gonna come out whatever it does, as heat flows like that sometimes. But yeah, it's like, some days, and I'm very helpful, or very grateful for the help that we have now at the shop. He's a great Phil. It's just, it's just completely different, because I still expect him to walk in some days and I was out at the house, meeting the bug guy. Or, I was sending Johnny Jump something over the Reaper. I'll be right back. Call me if you need me. All right, man, cool. But so it's just, it's just weird. But as everyone's already pretty much said, and we all know, we miss him in our own ways. But he influenced me in ways, and everybody, probably ways we won't even realize or don't even know until something like this happens. And then it just kind of hits you like, wow, that person's not around for me anymore to just chat, or he's not around to give me a random text or random call, or because he was very sociable, and he'll talk to the fly on the wall, but we're gonna listen to him a little bit, And I don't know, but that's kind of how it was at the Guitar Trader too, I guess. He would do a lot of the socializing, and I still can do it, but I wouldn't get right in their face with it perhaps as much, and Steven liked that about him, and that's cool, so that worked out. And then I still did my fair share of my sales, whatever, but he was a good salesman because he really just loved music that much and would always research the gear and get into it and say, man, this is why this works for you. Oh, you're looking for this sound, let me show you this one. He genuinely cared about whoever it was he was trying to talk to, and he wanted to better them as an individual if they're trying to better themselves. He would give you energy and time if you felt it was worthy and that you were going to give him the time that he's giving you, in return. But yeah, there's days that go by, and as we all are experiencing, it's like, okay, it's just life. But he experienced life and made life all it could be. And we all know that about him, that he was just spiritful and lively and wanted to help everybody if he could. And we talked about all kinds of things working almost 8 years together. So like I said, I didn't know him, and seeing these pictures is great because I hadn't seen him when he was younger. He was like, yeah, he has hair like you. like, okay, cool. But I see it now, and I see some of the experiences he's had that he talked about and he shared stories about through the years. So it's really cool to see a visual to the stories that he's shared to me personally. And you know, I play music too, but he and I never really played out, did much. I did a few little recordings here with him here and there, but you know, we never got to fully live up to the potential we wanted to, as clearly, again, everyone's saying the same thing. You know, no one has had enough time with him, but go ahead and say it again. We love you, brother, and wherever you're at, beautiful day for you. We're all here celebrating your life, and we really appreciate everything you've done for each one of us individually, because each of us individually only know how much he's touched us as a person on that level, but we all know cumulatively that he was a force to reckon with in a good way. Love you, man. Love you guys for showing up. Love you, Matt, being on around. Love you, Capri.
So I'm Rocky's not son, and apparently a lot more people knew that than I realized, which goes to show Rocky's like just twisted sense of humor, and there's not been enough bad jokes, and I don't think that he would appreciate that. So I actually had to look one up because I could not think of one, even though Rocky and I used to just sit there and go back and forth with really stupid jokes for hours on end. So if you're American when you go into the bathroom, and you're American when you leave the bathroom, what are you while you're in the bathroom? You're an idiot. Okay. So you all know Rocky. To piggyback off Chuck's story, which I actually met Chuck through Rocky at Mikkel's closing, which was, you know, just a great time to catch up with him. It was the last time I got to see him and Nat together, and I'm very grateful for that. But to piggyback off Chuck's story, he never learned from his errors there. He continued to mace himself. When he had the old shack, and it was just the little, you know, hole in the wall, little blue building, you know, it was mostly takeout. You know, he had a sign in the bathroom that said, you know, be careful with the hot water, because it's also the kitchen's hot water, which to code has to be like scalding hot. So scalding hot water into a pan will cause steam, and he mixed up a big batch of the Rocky Super Hot, and it was before it was probably regulated or something, and he was just like going, you know, I'm gonna bring Chuck kind of speed, like we're just gonna make this really, really hot. And I show up one day, and you know, I would just go up there and hang out with him, and we watch Jaws or whatever on the little TV head up in the corner, and just hang out for, you know, an hour, have some chicken, and just fart around, because, you know, it was empty. People come in, get their to-go, and leave. I show up, and he's just, like, red-eyed. Like, he just looks like hell went through him. And I'm like, what's, you know, I was like, you good, man? Like, what's the matter? He's like, yeah, I just, yeah, it took me a while. And he was like, I just came back in. I'm like, came back in from what? He was like, so, you know, I mixed up the Rocky's Super Hot, whatever he was calling it at the time, the extra hot. That's what it's called now, whatever he called it then. And he had gone to clean the bowl, and when he cleaned the bowl, it just steamed up in his face, and he maced himself basically. And he said he had to drop everything. He managed to cut the water off, and he walked outside, and he said he had just sat out there for like 15 minutes, just snot dripping, eyes watering, just hands on his knees, couldn't touch his face, just laying there, like just sprawled out in the like little back alley of the shack. And I showed up like right after that. I'm like, well, you know, maybe. I don't know what to tell you on that, but that was just to piggyback off the fact that he never learned to stop macing himself. You know, there apparently had been going on a long time, and you know, it probably would happen again. It's probably gonna cause some trouble up in the upper atmosphere. So acid rain, you know, might be an explanation. Rocky's just fucking with everybody again. So
Acid rain.
Miss you, bud. Love y'all.
Cheers. Woo! Same.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, I got to know Rock back in 2011 when he used to come into the guitar shop, and I was just getting started doing my buy, sell, and trade thing in the Guitar Trader. And we done some trades here and there, and later on he came on and said, "Hey man, if you ever want some help in here, this is something I'd love to be doing. I'd much rather be playing music and dealing with music equipment than being in the kitchen all day." No, that's just for me. I guess what's really on my mind, what I'd really like to point out is just the commonality that you see in the group of friends that Rocky surrounded himself with. And, you know, the honor to, you know, be friends with the brotherhood here. You know, because every time I ever saw Rocky, it was a big handshake and, "Hey brother, how are you?" All the stories he told me about his friends growing up here, I just felt really privileged to kind of feel like the little brother in the mix. And you know, it's real special to get to meet all you guys that he grew up with. And personally, for me, it was Drury that called me and told me, and there was just this sudden grief and sudden feeling of loss. And I think anytime I've talked about this, I've just repeated that Rocky is just a voice in my head that I continue to carry around with me. And, you know, I did that before Rocky died. I mean, there were times I was playing out with the band and I'd be thinking, man, I don't know if I'm ready for Rocky to hear this. You know, I got to play in a band with him for a little while, and he really encouraged me and, you know, lit a fire under my ass to sound good, or he didn't want to go out and play. Of course, we all know about Rocky's great sense of humor, and back to the commonality, just with his group of friends. I mean, y'all a bunch of softies, you know. I mean, I think any one of you would, you know, sit and cry with you, sit and write a song with you. And, you know, it was not only an honor to be Rocky's friend, it's an honor to be friends with all of you, and it's a real blessing to continue to be influenced by Rocky. I love you, brother.
Woo! Woo!
I think that's about enough. Natalie, we love you. Capri, yeah. Rocky, you're all family. People are here for you, and we love you.
You ain't gotta go home. You can't stay here.